Thank you, Marie.
Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to hide my water. Welcome. My name's Gail Frederick, and I run a program that we call DECO internally. It's the Developer Ecosystem Team. So my job is to look after all of eBay's public APIs, buying, selling, and commerce, and make sure that you are successful as you integrate them. I think most of you are awake. I think they gave you carbohydrates, so try not to fall asleep. And if you do fall asleep, I will call you out. Let's see, I'm from Portland. eBay has 200 people in our office in Portland. Guess so is Mr. Watch Count in the back corner. In our office, we are very proud that we have the most taps of any eBay office worldwide. And I do a ton of travel to Seattle, where most of the EPN leaders are, who you've met today and seen on stage, has 5 taps, but I think only 2 of them are actually hooked up to beer. We have 6 keg taps, mostly beer. 1 is always Pinot Noir Rosé, and then we have kombucha and cold brew coffee if you decline the alcohol. So that's sort of what our office is known for, being cantankerous and tattooed and bearded. But when I'm down here in California, I put on my sunglasses and I pretend to be a leader. So what I'm going to tell you about is, how many were here last year? Raise your hand. Okay, wow. So many of you are new, welcome. I'm super happy to have you here. Last year at this event, I had just launched something called the Buy APIs, and you can see my slide. And I was here and I was young and excited, and we had something cool, and we actually have in the room now the very first partner who took the Buy APIs live, and that's Kyle from WikiBuy, and you'll hear from him in a minute, our very excited partner. So last year, I was here to say we launched the Buy APIs. And if you haven't heard about the Buy APIs, they enable completing transactions on eBay entirely in your partner experience. So previously, as an affiliate partner, your role is to drive interest in users for eBay products and then move them off of your site and onto eBay to complete the purchase. And you would get a referral payout for that purchase. But with the Buy APIs, you can finish the transaction, and you can leave, and that user stays on your site. So last year, we launched these, and I'm proud to say that they are off to a roaring start. Since launch in October of 2016, the Buy APIs have brought in more than $100 million of GMV for eBay. Very exciting. So eBay gets the transaction, you get your user. So what I'd like to do today is show you examples of the Buy APIs live in action. We have some of your properties here, and then talk about our big technology bets, and then give you an overview of everything that we're doing in the API program. So as Marie said, I like to fancy myself the queen of the nerds. You can ask me. I think we'll do a little Q&A at the end of this, and we can talk about anything that you want under the sun as it relates to eBay public APIs. Okay, so last year we had 1 or 2 partners live when I came to you at the EPN Summit. Today we have more than 20 partners live. One thing you might notice on this slide, eBay integrates with eBay using the Buy APIs, which I think is pretty cool. So we've even found use cases where eBay Marketplaces is using the Buy APIs to integrate our own inventory on our classifieds properties around the world. How many people knew that eBay has classifieds platforms? We have about, I think, 20 or 30 in countries around the world, and we are selling eBay core marketplaces merchandise also through our classifieds platform. And the very best thing about this is you all have the same access to technology. We build a lot of features in these APIs for our most important partners, and we release them all in public in the developer program for all of you to use. So we've grown a lot quite this year. If your logo is on this slide, raise your hand. It means I love you. Thank you very much for helping us in our first year live. It's very exciting. And now I'll show you a couple of examples. Here's Flipkart. As you know, eBay and Flipkart, we sold our India business to Flipkart. This is an example of an eBay Marketplaces listing. See the circle at the bottom? The seller is exporters and eBay seller. These are the Buy APIs in action. We have over 100,000 listings live on the Flipkart platform in India, and they look like this. When a buyer buys this item in India, the eBay seller, wherever they are around the world, ships that item, and then it gets reshipped over to India using the same technology that you can use. Here's an example in Central America, Padelo Rapido. I think this is Guatemala. Buying an iPhone from an eBay seller, selling it domestically in the US. And again, it's reshipped down to Central America using the buy APIs. Here's another Central American example, Aeropost. Here we're selling a leaf blower. Again, an item that might be actually hard to find locally in these areas, using the power of the buy APIs, accessing the eBay, this is the US marketplace, and doing the transaction. So the Aeropost user checks out. It's clear that this is an eBay item. You can see the logo, but the checkout happens on Aeropost. The user stays on Aeropost. The transaction happens on eBay. So this is a great option for you as some of our favorite affiliates. Here's an example. Kleinanzeigen is eBay's largest classifieds platform in Germany. And in fact, it's our largest classifieds platform in the world. This is an example of the eBay German marketplace. So this is a B2C iPhone that we are interleaving with classifieds inventory and a classifieds experience. So the buy APIs allow you to both provide your users with search and discovery and merchandising opportunities, and then lets you finish the transaction here. And I have one more. Here's an example. This is Sneaker News. I know Bring Hub is here. Is Sneaker News here? I think you are. You were supposed to be here. But here's an example of a merch strip. So these are selected listings from eBay marketplaces. I think this is the US site too. So here the partner is merchandising the items, showing the 5 sets of kicks that most relate to the article that you might see this strip on. And again, these are clickable. So you click the Buy Now button. User doesn't leave Sneaker News. User completes transaction on eBay. Sneaker News keeps their user and brings them on to the next experience. Let me show you two more examples. This is Mashable. So this is inline purchasing on Mashable. This is in the US today, coming soon to the UK. So here there's an article about a specific iPhone model. And when the user expresses interest, this pops up, shows you the actual item that you're looking for, and then related products, and there's an inline checkout experience here. Again, the user doesn't leave Mashable, but eBay gets the transaction. And one more. This is Slick Deals. This one is really cool because here you're logging into PayPal and you're paying with any payment method from your PayPal wallet. So again, Slick Deals is promoting a particular item. User wants to buy, user clicks Buy Now. User wants to pay with PayPal. User logs into their PayPal account. User chooses any payment method in their wallet. User confirms cost and shipping details, and then the purchase completes. User stays on the site. So, the public API program at eBay does a lot of things, but the buying API, enabling this we like to think of it as our baby. It was invented in my team, nursed to life in our team, and now it's on the cusp of wild success. So quickly, this is what the buy APIs do. They really provide you an API pipeline for finding items that you might want to surface to your users, either through search or through merchandising. Like you can find popular products per category. You can find relationships between products. And for example, people who viewed A, viewed B, or people who purchased A, purchased B, and use those associations to create great experiences with your partners. And then we provide APIs for doing the checkout, accepting payment, and then we provide APIs for providing very simple order status for that order. So you could show your users, your order number is XYZ, and I see here's the tracking number, and here's the estimated shipping date, receipt date of the package. So this is what the API set does. It's super exciting. It's a major move forward for us, and again, it's eBay at scale. So last year we launched this. Today I can tell you, you can use these buying APIs at scale, and I'll show you how briefly. So inside the buying APIs, there's an API called Browse. And this is mostly searching for items, the same kind of search that you would find on the eBay core site, and then getting details of an item. We've heard a year's worth of feedback from partners about exactly how they want to search inventory for off-platform buying. I call it inline checkout, or we call it distributed commerce. It's all the same thing, doing the checkout all the way through on a partner site. So you can use the browse APIs to search and then to get the information that you need to show for an item today. And if you are completing the transaction on your platform, then eBay asks you to show certain minimum information to help your user make an informed decision about buying. For example, showing the eBay logo and then showing the name of the seller, so it's extremely clear and transparent to your users who's on the other side of that transaction. We also provide marketing APIs. So again, because we're doing this at eBay scale, and you heard earlier today that we have more than 1 billion listings live on our site today, 1.1 billion. You are probably asking, how do I make sense of that inventory? How do I narrow that down in both the categories I know my traffic is interested in, and also maybe brands? Maybe you're looking at brands. Help me make sense of this inventory at eBay. So we've provided these marketing APIs that allow you to find what's popular, what's top selling on eBay, and then look at relationships between products. And there's a lot more to come in the marketing aspect of the buying API. And I'll tell you why. The reason is, this year, we made a massive technology bet in my team. And we built a feed platform. And what the feed platform enables for our partners is we can hand you an entire marketplace's worth of eBay listings. So you have now the ability to store and synchronize tens or hundreds of millions of listings on your site, and then listen to another feed that we give you and stay up to date with those listings as they change within 2 hours of live on the eBay marketplace. So I'm really proud to say that gone are the days of operating with a feed that's 2 days old. Now you're able to use our feed system and mirror a massive amount of eBay inventory and keep it up to date as close to live as we're able to give you on our fast-moving marketplace. Our partners who adopt this feed are able to create these incredible, immense, deep buying experiences. They're also, without ever calling back to eBay until the transaction is made. So with the feed platform, we give you everything you need. We give you images. We give you all the listing details. We give you links for all the images. We give you links for product images, product catalog images, so that you can create your entire experience mirroring an eBay marketplace totally offline. And then you don't need to call us again in your user's journey until you transact. That's an incredible performance win for you as you're building these sites, because you can do everything async in the background and your user journey is entirely hosted locally. And you call us to do the transaction. The feed platform is global. It's in our four of our biggest marketplaces, the US, the UK, Germany, and Hong Kong, and coming soon to more marketplaces. It is our goal by the end of this year to be in every major eBay marketplace. And in fact, keep me honest, in August is the next eBay Developers Conference, and there I hope to have some really exciting news demonstrating that these APIs are as global as eBay is. So again, the goal here is offline, giving you this whole marketplace worth of data, letting you curate it offline so you find the exact perfect inventory for your users, hosting that entire experience locally, and then calling eBay only for the transaction. That's a great, fast way to deepen your relationship with our inventory and provide a really fast checkout experience for your users. And this is the biggest bet that we made this year, and it's pretty phenomenal for us to see this up live in a couple of countries around the world. So what does the feed platform do? I'm going to take a little bit and walk you through the mechanics of how it works, and then I'll tell you all the other APIs that the developer program has targeted at you, our buying side partners. So again, the platform, you ask for feeds by top-level category. So you ask for the fashion feed, or you ask for the home and garden feed, or you ask for the collectibles feed. You pull that feed. That feed is, you get a gigantic CSV file, and one row is one purchasable listing. So if it's a single variation item, it's the item. If it's a multi-variation item, there's one row per variation. And you have all the listing data, and then you have links to the images for the listing. And then you can go off and bring down those listing images. I said it was CSV, but it's really TSV. And then we have We've split this up because we realize that the data is enormous. We're talking about billions of listings across multiple marketplaces. So there's 4 kinds of feeds. One is all the listing data except for descriptions, because listing descriptions include markup, and they can be large. And if you're creating a product-based experience, you might not even need listing descriptions to represent that listing accurately. So we have an item feed, an item description feed. Then we have an item group feed, which there's lots of multi-variation items on eBay. Who knows? Am I using a word you don't know? Who knows what a multi-variation item is? Okay, 4 of you. Okay, enough. I want to list my iPhone on eBay, or maybe I have 5 iPhones I want to list. A variation is an attribute that changes across it. So I have an iPhone. One variation might be the color. The other variation might be the memory. Another variation might be, is it preloaded with US software or European software? Is it SIM locked to a particular carrier? So those are variations. And what you do, or for t-shirt, do I want the red t-shirt or the green t-shirt? So this item group feed allows you to create associations on your side between these groups. We tell you what sort of the hero item is, and then all the other variations, so that you can create the same experience that we have on eBay. And then we have a product catalog feed. And so for approved partners, we provide all the structured data that we have for all of the items in the item feed. So you would then get product images, product catalog, product metadata as well. So we have these 4 feed files, and then we publish them on 3 different schedules. We have a Bootstrap feed, and that is everything on the whole damn marketplace. It's enormous. It's intended to bootstrap developers, get them up and running. We have daily feeds that are published every day, which is all the listings that came live on that day or were pulled down. And then we have the snapshot feeds, which is the every hour feed. The quick feed of, it's a delta feed, anything that changed on a listing. So if the seller changed the title or changed the price, you would see that in that snapshot feed. So the way that you use the feed platform is you grab the Bootstrap feed, you get everything, you're up and running. You listen to the incremental feed every day and apply those updates. And then you take the snapshot feed and you get the late breaking. So when I change, as a seller, when I change my item price on eBay, it's a maximum of 2 hours between when I do that as a seller and when you as a partner see it in that snapshot feed. And that for eBay is a really big step forward. 2 hours is, you can imagine the volume of changes on a marketplace full of 1.1 billion listings is massive. So this is pretty great, I think, and we've seen when people adopt this, they really are able to create an experience that is the eBay marketplace, and it moves when the eBay marketplace moves. And so having accurate, up-to-the-minute information about the listings provides greater trust to your users and helps them convert better. Whew, okay, I'm a fast talker, I know. That's the feed platform. The key message here is you can mirror the whole damn marketplace if you want to in a partner experience, and that's a huge step forward. Let me give you an example, but I pressed the wrong button. Very few of our partners want to take 100 million or 1 billion listings from us. And you can think about your own businesses. You understand who your users are. You probably have niches in particular categories, or you have interest in some areas. You might want to take just fashion. You might want to take just lipstick and dive deep into the lipstick category. So between the buying APIs and the feed platform, the process that we're trying to enable for partners is take all the listings and then iteratively curate those listings down to the set that you want to show. And so we have provided, both in the feed and in APIs, capabilities for you to look at, depending on where your user is, let you filter based on if the item ships to that region, or what category it's in, or who the seller is, or what brand it is. And you can even filter on shipping date, and you can use our APIs to call to filter on how long it takes to ship from where the seller is to where your user is. So there's lots of opportunities here for you to start with the full breadth of eBay and curate down to the set of listings that make sense for your business, and then push those onto your site. So that's the feed platform. And I know we're going to have questions after this, so I encourage you to think about this, and then at the end ask me a couple of questions. Now I'm going to switch gears. I know Mohan, when he was here earlier, talked a little bit about product-based shopping. And I want to tell you what that means for you in your business. Product-based shopping is a massive change for eBay. Instead of showing a list of listings on the search page, we're going to show a list of products. When you click through, instead of getting one seller's listing, you get a page that is one product, and you see offers from sellers. I'm sure Mohan showed this to you earlier, and I'll show you in just a little bit. It's a massive change. It's much better for eBay buyers, and we've demonstrated that for the new buyers that we're trying to attract in existing markets and in new markets, it's the way they want to shop. It's the way the world is moving. And so for the categories where eBay feels like our catalog is deep enough and the products are commoditized enough, we're going to move to product-based shopping. Today, we have in the APIs all the capabilities you need to create that product-based shopping experience in your sites and in your apps. And that's really important because the capabilities that we have on our side to create this awesome search page and then to keep our users thinking about a product, the iPhone 7, and keep them focused on products, and then have you show the best offer from sellers for condition across different kinds of those products, then I want to show you how to do that via API. And this is called product-based shopping. Were you all in the room for Mohan? OK. Anybody unclear about the massive change we're about to undergo here at eBay? OK, well, I'll show you. OK, so this is what our catalog looks like today. We don't really understand relationships between products. Sometimes we have spotty information about our products. So you can see here, an Android, a Galaxy phone, the equivalent kind of iOS phone, accessories for that phone, a replacement battery for that phone. In today's listing model, it is very difficult for us to draw associations and understand what a seller is selling and how it might relate to something another seller has for sale. And maybe it's the same and maybe it's different. And our goal with product-based shopping is to move to this kind of catalog. So it's connected. If I know what this phone is, if I understand the product, I can recommend to you Bluetooth earbuds that we know are compatible. And I can recommend a charger to buy when your cat eats the charger that you have. And so we're going here. The world is already here. eBay's moving here. This is the big goal. And our bet is that the buying experience is going to be much better in product-based world. So this slide has, I'm searching for basketball on this slide. And your left is the product search, and your right is the listing search. So if I search for basketball on eBay on my phone, I get 18,564 results. How the hell am I going to get to the basketball that's meaningful for my kid trying to search through these items? This is really the crux of product-based search. So, and look, you might see that second one is actually a hobby box that a basketball was in once. Clearly, I'm searching for a basketball because I searched for basketball. But again, in the listing-based world, it's much harder for eBay to make sense of this and provide you what we know you're looking for. So in the product-based world, we're showing 129 results. Again, that's on your left. And each one of those rows here in the search results is a model of basketball. It has a model number that the manufacturer specified. It probably has a GTIN, International Trade ID. It's much easier if for you to understand what's the difference between these products than what is the difference between these listings that are ostensibly unrelated. So product-based search is much easier for our buyers. For our sellers, the pitch is, we'll give you greater exposure to a new and growing buyer base when you structure your listings in this way that adopts products. So this is the buy side. So 18,000 listings to 129. Each one of those rows there is a product. And you can see, I don't know how the font looks great up here. OK, so on this side, do you notice there's more than one price? That's because we're showing more than one seller's offer to you on the search results page. That's another key win. Because we know the product that a seller is listing, and then we know lots of other information. We know the condition. We know where the product is located. We're able to surface to each buyer who comes to our platform multiple options for how to buy the product. For a basketball, I might want to buy it new. But for an iPhone, for my kid, I might be okay with last year's iPhone, and I might be looking for a used product. And being able to push all that information here, lowest price, ships fastest to you, all the way up into search is the better buyer experience that we're talking about. Let me show you an example on the desktop. I have a Nest thermostat. I bought it on eBay. I bought my second Nest thermostat on eBay. This is what it looks like searching for Nest today on eBay. Oh, and by the way, have any of you actually tried this? Not searching for Nest, but product search on eBay? Did you know it's live? It's live. You can try it now. If you look up on the your right, my left side, all the way up at the top, see the button that says Group Similar Listings? See that button? I'll cheat and move forward. See the green up there? OK, now I'm not going to show you the cool thing yet. That button is live today. So if you want to do a search today and you see that button, it doesn't always come up. It depends on the category of the listings that you're in. You can try it and flip back and forth today live and see for yourself. Do you prefer the listing-based kind of free-form experience, or do you prefer a product-based experience? And I would actually love your feedback on this. When I do it, and I buy so much stuff on eBay at home, my kids, they call me the queen of small packages. Every little stuff coming from little sellers around the world all the time. I think you should try this, and I think you should ask yourself as a buyer, in which user experience are you more likely to trust and buy? And then give us some feedback about it, because my money's on product-based experience. So this is the listing experience. There's two nests here. It's not obvious to me as I'm scanning down this page if they're the same, if they're different. There's, 3 generations of nests now. Some of them have different colors. It's super hard to make that, especially a nest is not a small purchase. Here's the product page for Nest. So again, one search result. This isn't even the product page. This is search results for Nest. So one row here is one model. You can see there's two prices on the third gen copper on the bottom. There's 3 prices, right? Brand new. I guess you can read this, right? Brand new, free shipping, lowest price, new other, which means it's new, but maybe I don't have the box when I'm selling it. So again, we're pushing all this information about the different conditions, different buying formats that were really hard to find before, that you had to go drill into a listing. OK, that one's an auction. I don't like auctions. Go back to search, find a best offer. OK, they didn't accept my best offer. Shit, I got to go back to search, find the next listing. We've done all that work for you here. You're in a product-based experience. You know what you want to buy, and we're showing you multiple options for buying that item here. OK. All the APIs exist today for you to be able to build this kind of an experience, keeping your users at the product level and not the listing level in your third-party experiences. So briefly, this is the API set for product-based commerce. Some of them are new. Some of them have been on our site in our API space for a year or two. Primarily, first and foremost, the API at the top in the darkest red is the catalog API. So that's the API for you to search and ask for updates, submit changes, and create new products. So for you folks, you're probably primarily searching the product catalog, trying to find product IDs, and then looking for listings that have associated against that product. So you'd use the catalog API for that. Then we have the taxonomy API. The taxonomy API gives you the category hierarchy for each eBay marketplace. And inside those categories, you can learn, do all the listings in this category must they be associated with an item from our eBay product catalog? The buy-side marketing API operates in listing and product world, so you can see top-selling products per category as well as top-selling listings per category. The order API, I don't know why it's on this list. It operates. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you're buying a listing, even if you find it through the product experience. So that one operates with listings. The feed platform, as I said, it gives you this fire hose spray of all the listings on the eBay marketplace. And we also give you the same fire hose for the product catalog. So you're able to get listing data and product data and using that to create an experience in products. And then we have the Browse API. We made a change recently. If you're using the Browse API, every time you see a listing ID in the Browse API, you also see what we call an EPN, an eBay product ID. And the reason is we want you to start getting comfortable with thinking in eBay products and offers that sellers make to sell different versions and conditions at different shipping rates and times against those products. So we're all ready for you on the buy side here. You're going to see eBay communicating a ton to our sellers, because a lot of sellers have work to do to change their listings, to associate them with products in our catalog so we can build this awesome experience. But for you on the buy side, all the hard work is done. These APIs are all ready to go today. You can create product-based experiences in your apps and services today. All these APIs are live, and they're all documented on the developer program, which I love because it belongs to me at eBay. So here's, in case you were busy running your businesses, you might not know that we have just about 20 new RESTful APIs in our API platform now. Many of you are integrating with the SOA APIs, with Shopping API and Finding API. Those are going to live forever. We're not touching any of those APIs, but I encourage you to check out these 20 new APIs that we've built recently. They're RESTful, they use granular OAuth authorization, they are designed with developers. Some of you in the room have given us feedback as we've been building these APIs before we released them. We wanted to make sure that the APIs would work for you before they even came to market. So I really encourage you to take a look at the breadth of the APIs that we have available. I think you'll love them, and I sure love them. So to close, we made a big bet this year with the buy APIs. We took them from a really awesome idea to something with proven financial benefit for the company. We scaled them up to eBay scale. You can, in your experience, mirror hundreds of millions of eBay listings using our feed platform, curate them using the feed platform and using APIs, and drive transactions all the way through to completing an order, keeping your users in a third-party experience. And yes, you can pass your affiliate IDs and get compensated, of course, for the transactions that you're driving off platform. I encourage you to check out what's new in the developer program and start using these APIs in your experiences. I think you'll find that not only are they easy and fun to use, but you can increase your business with eBay this way. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I'll stick around for some questions. Yes, sir. Oh, I think there might be a mic runner. Is there a mic runner? OK. I'll repeat your question. Go ahead.
How far along are you in the process of associating items with products? So, like, what percentage of the inventory on eBay has been grouped into products, and what's that rollout timeline look like?
OK, so the question is, yeah, how far along is eBay in the process of associating listings with products, and what is the rollout strategy? There's a mountain of information. I can't give you all the details on stage, although I know them all because we would be here for a long time. But they're all on. You can go to developer.ebay.com/PBSE to find everything you're asking me. But I'll tell you, this year there's going to be 2 waves. We're starting with our English-speaking marketplaces, US, UK, Canada, Australia. We are doing 2 waves. Wave 1 is a set of 12 products that we know our catalog is perfect for. We have perfect coverage. And we've published all of that catalog data on the developer site. So wave 1 enforcement is, where's my team? Now, in like 2 weeks, May 15th, I think it starts. May 15th, OK. So for those 10 products, and so enforcement to us means we think enough sellers have associated. Well, but let me back up. Your question was, how far along is eBay? My answer is, eBay does the early work of creating a catalog that's sort of minimum viable, and we are counting on sellers who know all these products very well to associate their listings with a product. So eBay has a good guess about what your product might be, and we're providing a ton of help to sellers. But at the end of the day, the seller owns the determination of if their listing is a specific product. So selling developers have work to do, and sellers have work to do to find the eBay catalog, search it, find the exact product that they're selling, associate it with their listing. And if they think that product if they want to enrich it, add more data to that product, or if they think the product's wrong and they want to fix it. We have APIs and we have seller UI for this, for going in and saying, no, that iPhone's not red, it's magenta, for example. You can express that on the selling site, and you can express that via API. And over time, we are collecting and making those changes, where time is, I think, 1 to 24 hours. So English-speaking markets first. Wave 1 of products where we're mandating that all of our sellers on these marketplaces use this. For the 4 marketplaces starts soon, May 15th. And then we have a phase 2 that's happening. And phase 2 is a much larger segment of commoditized kind of industry G10 products. The complete list is on the developer site, but there's electronics there, there's some home and garden, and that work, eBay will be asking sellers to be done with that in August. And so we've got all the developer tools for that are released now. And we have an extraordinarily detailed, excruciatingly detailed playbook for how to make these changes in the trading API, generation of APIs, and in the RESTful APIs. So go to developer.ebay.com/PBSE, where I think all your questions are answered. And if not, email Ruchika. Or use the API feedback email that's on the developer program. We've gone to great lengths to over-communicate about this, and I hope that if you don't see the details, come and tell us. We'll tell you. Jake in the back.
Yeah, about the feed platform, the first kind of feed, the basic item feed, and the Bootstrap on-demand version. Well, I'm hearing feedback here. Couple quick questions. Will you be offering a lot of search criteria to reduce the size of the download, to get real specific? And then, is it really, truly a comprehensive data set for all the live items that meet those criteria?
Okay, so first of all, it's not feedback, it's your booming voice, booming, beautiful voice. Second thing, you asked about, can I add filters to reduce the size of the download? And the answer is, there's only one filter, because it's a feed. And I know that on a server, you can just discard what you don't like, and memory will get reclaimed. So you're calling the feed by L1 category. So the top, sorry, that's an eBayism, top level category. So you can ask for fashion, you can ask for home and garden. And then you get all the live listings. It's a really big file. We HTTP chunk it to you, so you can consume it in a manageable format. And then it's a feed, so the expectation is that you'll curate on your side. And if you want eBay to do the curation, use the search API. So the feed is for, just give me the whole damn marketplace. And the APIs are, I know what I want, it's a much smaller set, just give me that. So, and many of our partners choose to use both, depending on their use case. I hope you had a second question. Oh, is it a really comprehensive copy? So I said you can mirror a whole marketplace. Can you really mirror a whole marketplace? Today, the feed has new buy it now items from above standard sellers. So there's sort of this, we're not putting the C2C listings in the feed today. And that's because our hypothesis is you want to sell B2C products in your selling experience. Good question. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I will have a short question. Do you have some kind of SDK where we simply can put it on our website, on our server somewhere that runs, and let's say just check with or put in our code which categories I want to pull, and leave it running?
Okay, good question. We don't have an SDK, but I think we have something better. We support OpenAPI in all of our RESTful APIs. Who's heard of OpenAPI? Anybody? I love OpenAPI, and it's not because I'm on the governing board, but I'm on the governing board because I love OpenAPI. So it's a schema for a RESTful API, and we give you the schema, and then there's a whole ecosystem of open source tools, and you can code gen in 40 languages, clients for our APIs. So I think that's better than an SDK, because each one of you is going to have your own minimum feature set you need in the SDK. Instead, what we're providing is, for all the RESTful APIs, take the schema, code gen the client, and then use that code. And we haven't released it yet, but my architect, Tanya, who I don't think is here, if you've met my lead API architect, I challenged her. I said, make a video in 90 seconds or less, go from downloading the schema on the developer site to running code, and she did it, and it's awesome. And that's the value of Open API. You don't have to write any boilerplate code. So my preference is that we provide that to you and give you the flexibility rather than building an SDK and getting your feature set right, but missing his feature set. So that's what we have. And I think you should check it out because it's pretty amazing how quickly you can get started with it. OK, I think that's it for questions. I wanted to introduce Moumita Bhattacharya to come up. She's the product owner for partnerships, and she's going to do the next segment. Thank you very much.
Dance, 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 dance. I hit the floor 'cause that's my plans, 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 plans. I'm wearing all my favorite brands.
Good afternoon. I'm Moumita Bhattacharya, and I am a product manager on the partnerships team. I support engineering teams in Seattle and Shanghai. And today, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about all of the innovation that's driving product development within partnerships. So jumping right in, let's start with Smart Suite. I want to say early last year, we started building for the suite of products that we call Smart Suite. And what that really means is it's kind of a twofold philosophy, simplicity and speed. So we want our users or our partners to be able to use these with minimal or no coaching. And we want them to be able to create links really fast. So with that philosophy in mind, earlier this year, we launched Smart Share, which is really our Chrome extension button. And what you can do with it is go to the Chrome store, download Smart Share, takes less than 30 seconds. Upload your campaigns onto Smart Share, again, takes less than 30 seconds. And the moment you're on an eBay page, you can go create links. And not just copy-paste links, but share them on Facebook, share on Pinterest. And I know there's a lot of people here that I spoke with yesterday who said that they actively use Bookmarklet. This is actually an improvement on the historical Bookmarklet tool that we've had. And I would love for people who've used Bookmarklet and told me that you've not used Smart Share ever, just go try it out. Tell us what you think. We've had about 8,000 downloads of Smart Share in the last 10 weeks or so that it's been out there. And we've heard some really good feedback about it. And we would like to know more about what you think. What should the next version look like? Should it allow you to log into your EPN account? Do you want it to be browser agnostic? Maybe you want both of the above. Tell us, and as we plan our next releases and we evolve the product, we'd love to know more. Talking about feedback and evolving products, late last year, we launched a product called, or a tool called Smart Placements. Now, Smart Placements really is our personalized display ad, if you will. What it does is when a user comes to your website, we use eBay's retargeting technology to be able to show them ads that are based off their activity on eBay. And if we cannot do that, then we fall back to the keywords that you've provided to create the smart placement. Now, once we launched, we asked the users for feedback. And one of the biggest things we heard back from you was, we'd like to see contextually relevant smart placements. And so 2 weeks ago, we soft launched what we've called contextual smart placements. What that does is, now, when a user comes to your site, of course, we will try to retarget first. But then, if we cannot, then we will crawl the site, crawl the page, and create keywords that are relevant to the content on the page, and try to show ads that make sense given the content that the user is consuming. And then if that's not possible, then of course we fall back on the keywords. So it's kind of a three-tier structure, if you will. And we have a little demo coming up of contextual smart placements. I'll welcome Max Shen onto the stage. Max is the engineering manager for partnerships. And more importantly, Max is parent to Mochi, a 1-year-old Shiba Inu who is very critical to all of the user acceptance testing we do. And you'll find out why.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Max Shen. I'm the engineering manager for EPN. And RJ, Mohan, and Gail, everybody talked about how we leverage technology to solve real-life problems. And I'm going to do a quick demo about how we leverage the technology to solve real-life problems from partners. To do that, the first step is showing my dog's Instagram feed. So we brought him home June last year, and since then, we've been doing tons of different things, including taking him to different dog parks, including making a cake to celebrate his first birthday. Actually, I made the cake. I'm so proud of that. Then I started managing a blog, which basically talks about how to train your dog. If you train your dog a lot, you give a lot of treat, and you need to find a way to manage the healthy weight, and how about the benefits of high fiber dog foods, etc. So I started making blog posts about those things. Naturally, I put the smart placement, a pretty awesome product to try to drive traffic to eBay and earn a couple more bucks. Then after I created more and more posts, and I realized that I need to try to figure out the best relevant keyword for each individual smart placement for each individual posts. And then it's kind of time consuming. And then that's one of the feedback. We want to have a contextual relevance smart placement. So here's the demo. So this is the page we provide for our partners to manage their smart placement. We made it such a way that once you finish the integration, it's simply dropping the JavaScript on our website, and you don't have to go to your website and change a single line of code. You can manage that through the portal page. For instance, of course, we have many parameters you can set for the smart placement you just saw. For instance, the search keyword, I put it as dog because that's generic for all the posts. And then what I'm going to do is simply check this box and save that. Underlying, there is a pretty sophisticated engineering pipeline, which basically receives the signal and cross your website, understanding the content. And we have a very sophisticated scientist model, understanding what the content is talking about, and getting the keyword and finding the most relevant items from eBay. So I'm going to refresh the page. Boom. Let's see. Natural dog treats, training reward, pretty relevant to the post, right? And I only need to do that once, because if I even go to other blog posts, healthy way, healthy natural dry, something else, let's see. Yeah, dog food. So that's essentially how, that's a pretty simple demo, but it actually means a lot, as I've been with EPN for many years. It's the first scientist model we introduced in the network that leveraging machine learning AI to help our partners to drive more traffic, to be more successful with your business, and eventually we succeed together. So that's the demo. Thank you. Just unplug it.
So we've talked about Smart Share. We've talked about smart placements. Let's talk a little bit about the third constituent of our Smart Suite, and that's Smart Links. What Smart Links does is it looks at your web page, and if there are eBay links on the page, it affiliatizes those links, just so you're able to monetize them. One of the things we realized with smart links is when you're looking at smart links on mobile, so a user comes in, looks at the page on mobile, the link is probably in a different color, it's probably underlined, it's probably bold, but in that smaller device, it does not give the user that sort of brain signal, if you will, to want to click on the link. And so, here's our sort of upcoming launch, which is mobile ads for smart links. What this does is it will take that link that you see out there and create a little display ad at the bottom of the screen. And now you have a very powerful signal, which has the title, the image, the price, as well as seller ratings, which we've heard over time is really, really important for publishers to be able to show. And that gives the user just so much more of an incentive to want to click on that. Of course, we also have options for them to turn it off completely for a session if they wanted to. And if there are multiple links, the user has it will rotate, and the user has the option to look at the link that's kind of relates to the part of the screen that they're looking at. This is coming up in the next couple of weeks, and you will hear more from us and from Marie's team on mobile ads for smart links. Okay. DMP. I know a lot of the partners have heard us talk about our DMP in the last couple of months. What is this? We actually partner with Adobe Audience Manager. And what Adobe does is it contains a whole bunch of eBay user segments. And what we want to do with you is have you integrate with Adobe. And we want to share that data in a way that makes either your outbound marketing campaigns easier, or if you have the ability to customize real-time site experience, then you can do that. We've kind of soft launched it last year, and we're talking to more and more of you to be able to get this going. Integration is free. In fact, a couple of partners who already use some other DMPs should be able to get on the program really fast. If not, it's a build that you need to do for a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and you're ready to go. Of course, in terms of what you get out of this, there is, the sort of customer segments that we have are things like sort of category-specific customer segments or active buyer segments. And that really makes sense for partners just because it gives you just an ability to be able to get higher double commissions or just higher EPCs. So we really, really want you to talk to us about this. If you're interested, reach out to your account managers, reach out to any of us, and we'd be really happy to share more. And I know we've had a whole bunch of conversations yesterday around this. So if you've not talked to us, please do today, right after this. Experimentation. Now, there's something wrong with this slide. The picture here really should have been of Carlos, who's going to follow me onto the podium right after this. But in the absence of that, we'll settle for this. But I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the slide just because Carlos is going to talk about experimentation. But what this really means is we want to partner with you and help you be more successful. We want to be able to empower you to run experiments, which you may or may not be able to do today from a technical standpoint. And we want to be able to run incrementality tests, landing page tests, or just product tests with you in a way that's easy for you to integrate with, and which hopefully gets you results that helps you cater customer experience in a way that's meaningful. More about that to come right after I'm done presenting, so I'm going to skip over and just let Carlos talk when he's here. Shop the Look. So I think everyone who's talked today has talked about Shop the Look. It seems to be our most talked about program. Again, we'll not spend too much time on this, but what Shop the Look really means is you take a piece of code and put it on your site, and what that helps you do is parse the products on the page when you have visually compelling images, and takes your users to same or similar items on eBay. We have sort of done this with a few fashion websites. Fashion and home and garden are the categories that immediately spring to mind when we think about Shop the Look. But we're happy to talk to everyone who wants to try this out. And if you have great visuals, just reach out, and we'll be happy to chat. And that is it. Thank you so much.